Concacaf Champions Cup, Julian. A lot of people refer to this as the tournament of innocent little boys that don't know how to play the game. People kind of make fun of our tournament, dude, but we got to put some respect on it. Let's make a little prediction video. I want to hear what you got to say. I'm really interested. I'm intrigued. Is Real Estelí going to win the whole thing? I mean,
yeah. So precursor, we are recording this after the first match day. So, but I don't think our opinions are really going to change in who we think is going to advance forward. No. But yeah, let's move over to the first game that's on the bracket, and that is Los Angeles FC versus the Colorado Rapids. Well, I can get to you first. Who do you got here?
Yeah. This is an interesting game. I think Colorado, obviously Zach Steffen coming back, Jordi Mihalovic, an Olympian with the United States team this past summer. I think it's an interesting team. I mean, give me LAFC. They're going to advance on. I don't think it's going to be too much of a tussle, but I'm excited. I'm kind of interested to see how that midfield battle. LAFC did lose some interesting pieces. Obviously, Bogusz, the Polish guy, Adam would know how to pronounce his name. He is moving on to Cruz Azul. So it's going to be kind of intriguing to see how he does and whatnot. And like you talked about, Julian, we are a few days behind on this one. We've already had a couple games. I didn't see Bogusz play for Cruz Azul yet. I didn't see him play against Real Hope, but I don't know, it'd be interesting. But yeah, give me LAFC. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go LAFC. I think they just have a lot more firepower than Colorado. I do think Colorado is improving and they're a better team. I think it's possible for them to advance, but LAFC, I think they just have a little too much firepower. Now, I do think they did kind of get hurt this transfer window. And then also, too, what are we going to see from Giroud this year? Is he actually going to be like the Giroud of past, or is he going to continue in this weird form where he can't get anything going? But I think this might be a little closer than we might think because LA might have a tad bit of a drop off this year. But I'm going to go LAFC regardless. They do have the home field advantage, so I'm going to go with that. So let's move to the next game. We got Inter Miami versus Sporting KC. Will, who do you got?
I'll let you kick it off, man. These are your boys, dude. I'll let you talk.
All right. Miami should win this. They've had pretty much a pretty eventful preseason so far. Pretty intense preseason with a lot of scrappy games in there. They seem to slowly get warmed up, and I think that might be an advantage they would have over Sporting KC. I think having a tougher traveling kind of preseason versus KC is having more of a traditional MLS preseason with nothing crazy. At the end of the day, Miami is just too stacked. They are built to win this tournament, and they should. I think they're going to go to KC, they're going to win, and then they'll come home and close it out. I got Miami advancing here.
Yeah, I got to agree. Listen, I think you guys honestly had a solid – you guys had a pretty good winter window, obviously picking up the likes of a very eventful one, picking up, obviously, your head coach, the maestro, Javier Mascherano, at the Realm. I know Julie and I, we've had our talks. You guys let us know what you think about Javier Mascherano. Personally, I don't think he's that bad. Julian thinks he's a bum. I think he's going to be enough for Sporting KC and Joveljic, who did just sign with the Sporting Kansas City. So I think he's going to make things tricky for you guys. I really could see him. Honestly, I could see him bagging a goal or two. But like you said, dude, I think it just hurts that Sporting KC really haven't had much of a preseason. I haven't really heard too much. Obviously, Inter Miami went down and played my boys, Sporting San Miguelito, which if you guys haven't watched that game, highly recommend that. That I don't know. I couldn't tell if that was a soccer game or if that was a fucking UFC fight. I mean, guys are tussling, guys are bustling, So it was interesting, but I think Inter Miami already kind of having that under their belt the past couple weeks, obviously going to Olympia and Honduras, they're going to have more of a fighting game there as well. So I think it's going to be interesting, and I think Inter Miami's ready to roll. But next game, Monterrey Forge, like you said earlier, Julian, this was a game that had already happened last night, leg one, Monterrey, De La Rosa, and if I want to say, Jordi Cortizo scored both goals 2-0 against Forge. Can Forge make a comeback, or are we writing him out right here?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm gonna give Forge credit. I thought they played really well in the first half. I thought they were very competitive, and even throughout most of the game, they looked pretty competitive. I mean, some of the first goal you just couldn't stop. It was just a wonderful play by Monterrey, like what they did, and then he scored an absolute banger from outside the box.
Yeah.
So I thought Forge was pretty solid. Honestly, they really impressed me this game, but I think Monterrey is just too much. And this wasn't even the strongest lineup they could have put out. So,
No.
and now you're going away. You're getting rid of that temperature advantage that they had.
Yeah.
I think it's Monterrey's easy to advance.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. Exactly everything you said. Listen, unlucky for Forge. I think they just wrong opponent, wrong time, wrong place, dude. I think if they had an opponent a little bit more closer to their kind of echelon, they could maybe squeeze a goal or two. But listen, I don't know what that one guy's name is. I think he's from Switzerland, dude. You got to put that in the back of the net for Forge. But you know, Canadian doing Canadian things, I guess. So next game up, Vancouver Saprissa. These are your boys, Julian. I want to hear, man. These are one of your 3 Costa Rican boys, your Ticos, representing in the CCC. Is this the game that is going to be everyone's looking at in Costa Rica? What are you thinking from here?
This is going to be our revenge game against Brian White.
Mm,
So,
mm, mm. Vault
no, I
Brian
don't.
White. Yeah.
I think Vancouver's kind of going through like kind of a smaller rebuild right now. They did just lose off Picot. They got rid of their head coach this past season. They're also in preseason form right now. Versus Saprissa is mid-season, and I think they've, while not had the greatest of aperturas, I for whatever reason I like them here. I think Vancouver is just they're not super strong to me right now, and they've been very weak in CCC tournaments the past few years, and they've been qualifying. Meanwhile, Saprissa, for whatever reason, they get up for these tournaments. They push Philly to the brink. They advanced to the round of 16 last year. Like they usually get out of these first rounds for the most part. Very rarely do they get knocked out in these first rounds. I like Saprissa here. I think they're going to get the upset. I think Vancouver is going to have a hard time playing at Ricardo Saprissa Stadium. And also, too, I think they're still trying to figure things out and where they are as a team right now. I just don't think they're really built for a tournament at the moment for this.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, dude. Listen, I think Saprissa, give me Saprissa, man. You know what I mean? Obviously, Comandante Fidel Escobar and Eduardo Anderson got 2 of our boys representing you guys as well in this tournament. I agree, dude. Apertura wasn't the best. Saprissa did make the final against Herediano. Obviously, ended up losing that, or if I'm not wrong, semifinal, one of the two. So interesting way to roll out, even in the Concacaf, the Central American Cup. If I'm not wrong, rolled out in the quarterfinals to Antigua from Guatemala, and then had to go to the play-in round. And if I'm not wrong, I want to say beat Comunicaciones, if I believe so, from Guatemala as well. So, interesting way for Saprissa to get there. Not really the most convincing way. But like you said, dude, listen, I think you guys picked up Marvin Lorilla from the Portland Timbers over the winter break. Obviously, you still have the likes of Kendall Watson, Fidel Escobar in the back, solid midfield with oh my goodness, I'm trying to, not Bolaños, but there's an Argentine. He plays well, so I think,
Mariano Torres.
Yeah. Mariano Torres.
Who's been one of the best signings in Costa Rican league history. Dude's an absolute baller.
Dude's crazy. Dude's slick his feet, dude. I mean, he can move well. He passes well. He creates chances. So I think I agree with you, dude. Listen, I think this is the Brian White redemption tour right here. I think all Ticos are ready for it. I think all Ticos want Brian White to suffer and cry on the field and Ricardo Saprissa. So listen, dude, I'm with you, man. Give me Saprissa. But next game up, Pumas, Calvary. This one's interesting because the winner of this one is going to play your other boys, Liga Deportiva Alajuelense. Listen, man, Pumas, obviously I'm Ryan. I'm rocking with Pumas. You guys know why, obviously, with Coco. So this is an interesting matchup because I can't lie. We don't need to overlook Calvary. We already saw last night Forge. Forge is these Canadian teams, man. These are some rude ass Canadian teams, Julian. These boys are gritty. They're tough. They're nail biters. I mean, dude, I'm not saying that they're obviously going to play them like Atletico Madrid or anybody like that. But these are some tough ass teams, dude. You know what I mean? You can't just overlook it. And obviously, like you said earlier, the weather. I still have Pumas advancing. Not going to doubt Coco Carrasquilla. Obviously, I believe he's going to get a hat trick in that first game. So give me Pumas. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Pumas here. I mean, until the Canadians, the CPL teams can prove us wrong otherwise, I think you're just going to have to go with Liga MX. I mean, at the end of the day, I would probably compare the CPL pretty similar to the USL, where it's very quality. There's a lot of good players, and they are solid teams. And then on a given day, they could win. And I think it is possible maybe they could sneak one at home, especially with the weather advantage. But Pumas from top to bottom, they're just such a better team. And I think they're gearing up
Yeah.
to truly kind of win this kind of tournament as well. So, and I think midseason form means so much, in a lot of these cases. I mean, a lot of these Canadian and MLS teams, they're still trying to warm up versus like these Liga MX and Costa Rica teams. They're already ready to go. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go Pumas here, advancing. So yeah, let's go to the other side of the bracket. I'll kick it to you first.
Chivas is whooping that ass, dude. They are going down. They're about to be a que lo que hay. It's about to be a que lo que hay situation. And Cibao is going to look around the field, and they're about to look at Cade Cowell, Chicharito just running at him and just scoring goals, dude. I think this is going to be tough for him. I wish the best for Cibao. I love our Dominicans. I love our DR people. Junior Firpo, send me a free jersey if you don't mind. Love you guys. But, dude, no, I agree, man. You probably are going to have the same thoughts as well, but I think Chivas are just – I just think the quality level is just too much. I mean, we saw it, and we're going to talk about in that next game, Cruz Azul, Real Hope. I think these Liga MX teams, I think they have an advantage, Julian, as well, dude, going into this CCC, already having 4 or 5 games underneath their belt, and preseasons on top of that, So it's already looking like it, but now give me Chivas.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with you. I think in terms of the Caribbean aspect, I do think the Dominican Republic League is one of the better ones. I mean, they're just honestly, this is one of those. It's probably going to be a bloodbath. It might be pretty bad, but
it could be.
What I am excited to see is if they're going to play in that one stadium with that big ass tree behind the goal net. I don't know if you remember that back when they had a Haitian team playing Dominican Republic in the stadium.
Yeah,
and that's when that I forgot what team it was, but they beat Austin FC. I don't know if you remember that. It was about a couple of years ago.
Yes.
That stadium, they played right behind goal was like this massive oak tree. And it was like the funniest thing. It felt like they're playing at the park. You never think this is like one of the premier tournaments in the region. But I'm excited to see a little bit of that. But yeah, I'm going to have to go Guadalajara here. I think they're just leaps and bounds better than Cibao.
Yeah. And Real Hope kind of rolling with it again, Julian, dude. Listen, Cruz Azul, it's just levels ahead. Obviously, you have the likes. I don't even believe he started Gianmiacas, obviously the Giannis Acapenco. Yeah, the Giannis Acapenco of soccer. The guy's balling, guy's crazy. If I'm not wrong, he's the most valuable player in Liga MX on the transfer market. So, guy's crazy. Guy's a baller. Obviously,
it was a monster in Atlanta.
Monster in Atlanta. And dude, they beefed up. Cruz Azul really beefed up. Obviously for this tournament, but hearing a lot of reports out of Mexico, obviously Luca Romero, his whole situation's interesting. Botugas, like we were talking about, the guy from Poland, played over at LAFC last season, as well as Chiquete Orozco. So this team really lined up in every position in every way possible that they can. And don't forget their goalkeeper, the Colombian Kevin Mir, who was linked last season potentially to a Bayern Munich move, which that just came out of the woodwork. Obviously never happened. He's still there. But dude, no, I think Cruz Azul, I think they beefed up, man. I think this is a team that said, you know what, F it, we're fucking balling this year, brother. We're balling, dude. We're beefing the hell up. So I think, obviously kind of same thing for Forge, same thing with Real Hope, wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, good team. Hope to see him compete well in this next leg. But yeah, give me Cruz Azul.
Yeah, moments like this is where you wish there was the new league phase, and maybe they'll bring it one day. Who knows? But because you hate to kind of see these one-off games. But anyways, let's move on. Oh, wait, actually, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Cruz Azul, they're gonna win. It is what it is. I don't even think the Haitian league is playing in their country right now. It's kind of rough. And look, if they could pull off something, that'd be amazing because their league has done it before, but I don't see it happening. But anyways, let's go.
They've done it in the past. They've done it in the past.
R.I.P. Austin.
R.I.P. Austin, brother.
Yep. Next game, Seattle versus Antigua. I think Seattle is just. This might be another one of those where it's going to be pretty bad. I think.
No, I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Really? I think Seattle, while a lot of MLS people think they should have done more to prepare for the Club World Cup, They
Yeah.
did add some weapons. I think adding Jesus Ferreira from an MLS perspective is a good
Yeah.
signing. Now, was it enough? Is it going to be enough for Club World Cup? We're talking about that more in depth once we get closer to that
Hell
tournament.
no. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Seattle, they're good in these tournaments, dude. They're the only team in the modern era to actually win it from outside of Liga MX. So,
That's true.
and for the
That's
most
true.
part, this is still a lot of the same players outside of like Nico Ladero. Like a lot of these guys
Yeah.
are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
No Rui
I think
Diaz.
Antigua's gonna. Yeah, no Rui Diaz, but like I said, you're getting a younger Jesus Ferreira. Look, hopefully they can move away from Jordan Morris, who gets all his stats in like a course of 3 games and then disappears for the rest of the season. And he's like, well, he scored
Yeah.
10 goals. Well, yeah, he scored 10 goals in like 4 games, and then after that, he was gone.
He
But
just disappeared. Yeah.
yeah, I'm going Seattle here.
Yeah. Only comment on the Jordan Morris comment is that guy should be playing rugby. I think he's a rugby built player. He is not a soccer player. Jordan
He's
Morris on the
wide.
soccer field. I mean, dude's he's a big dude, man. I'll say it, 1-on-1 with that guy, that dude would probably whip my ass. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I'm with you, dude. Give me Seattle. I think honestly, dude, Antigua, I think they're gonna put up a fight. Listen, we had a Panamanian guy years ago, or just a season or two ago, Manuel Gamboa, who's a solid center back in the Panamanian League. Now came back to I want to say play for San Francisco now. But the thing is, he played at Antigua, and I remember when he came back, he very, very spoke highly about this team. Granted, this team made a semifinal in the Central American Cup, not something light, if I'm not wrong. Went to Olympia in the league phase, beat Olympia in the Copa Centroamericana. So Antigua's not just, they're a gritty team, man. They're a gritty team. Granted, they did lose their number 9 guy. I can't remember. I want to say his last name was Santiago Lopez, something like that. So he ended up going over to Municipal, also in the Guatemalan League. Interesting transfer. But yeah, dude, I think Antigua's going to put up a fight. I think they could put up a battle. Listen, dude, Paul Arriola, obviously, like you said, Jesus Ferreira, you got the Roldan brothers. I think having the Roldan brothers, especially Alex Roldan, the El Salvadorian national team rep, I think it really does help for these situations because they know the environment, they know the atmosphere, they know the field. Hell, they know players on the other team quite well and how they play. So I agree with you. I think Seattle's built for this. I think they will win, but we'll see. We'll see what Antigua does. Next game, though, this one already as well. The third game that happened last night already in the CCC, Julian. Tigres, Real Esteli. Hey, the Cardiac boys did it yet again, brother. Cardiac Commanders, the Cardiac Cleveland Indians. Well, these are the Cardiac Real Esteli boys from Nicaragua, man. I mean, dude, put some respect on these guys. I know we've talked about it before. Listen, these guys they don't shy away from anybody. They're not scared of the moment. They're not scared of the time, any place, any day, any time. They show up and they show out. With all that being said, I still think Tigres is going to whoop that ass in the second leg. Julian, what do you got?
I agree. Look, a valiant effort in the first leg, just like last year against Club America. But at the end, going and playing
Yeah.
at Monterrey is tough. It is really hard.
Yeah.
Even ask the MLS teams, it is really tough. I thought it was, like I said, a valiant effort at home. It's possible if they just absolutely just put 10 men in the back and just hold that line for 90 minutes or whatever it might be. It's possible, but I think Tigres is just. I expect it. Tigres is probably going to score 3 on them at home, I would imagine. And look, the problem is going to be Real Esteli scoring there. And I think because Tigres is going to score at home. They are. And the problem is I don't think Real Esteli is going to be able to score over there. But so yeah, I got Tigres here. But let's move on to Cincinnati versus Motagua. Now, this could be a sneaky one here. I think Cincinnati losing Lucho Acosta is a big hit. Now, let me say, obviously, even without him, Cincinnati team is a better team by a decent amount. Let's not get it twisted. But I think they don't really know who's going to be that playmaker right now. I think in terms of Cincinnati, they're not set and ready to go. And I think Motagua has a chance to catch this team off guard and to really sneak one at home this first leg. But I think Cincinnati, regardless of all that, is going to score. They did make a big signing at the striker position. So But the problem is who's going to feed him. But at the end of the day, I
Yeah.
think Cincinnati's going to figure it out and advance. But I will
Mhm.
say, like, Ottawa probably could sneak a draw or something at home that first. Like, I think it's possible. Now, once you go to
Yeah.
Cincinnati, it's going to be a whole other story. But I think it's possible. I think a lot of
Yeah.
these teams struggle in Central America.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. Listen, this is an MLS team going down to Central America. Dude, give me Motagua, man. Give me Motagua. Give me the
Okay, no,
freaking
I'm not going
boys.
that far.
Give me Motagua, man. Listen, dude. Jorge Puchulin, hat trick. If you want to call Miles Robinson own goal, Matt Miazga, own goal, yelling at the coach, getting subbed off in the 15th minute. Dude, I'll call it. Motagwa's that team. Listen, dude, the biggest thing I will say, though, 2 weeks ago, Julian, Motagua can cruise. I think they can roll. I think they could have won potentially 3-0 at home. I really think they have that type of quality with Azumendi and guys like that, and his younger brother as well, the younger Azumendi. Only thing is their injury list. They're looking like a hospital right now, my guy. Motagua has, and as well, starting out the Apertura in Honduras, looking at our research, this team, they're just not starting the hottest, I mean, if I'm not wrong, they just tied last week against Olancho. Then the week previous to that, they played Marathon, two decently higher teams in the Honduran League, tied both of those. If I'm not wrong, they lost another game earlier. So they're looking at about 4 or 5 points mid-table right now in the league. They're not looking the hottest. They got a decent amount of injuries. Like I said, Julian, 2 weeks ago, I could say Motagua. I could say it comfortably. They're rolling, they're cruising, and they're not bruising. Now, it's a different situation. It's a different team. Like you obviously said, all jokes aside, Miles Robinson is a national quality player. He's had many, many reps with the United States men's national team. I think this is a guy that he can hold the fort down, and guys like Azumendi or even a Castillo and my boy Puchulin Serrano, he could be able to kind of maneuver it and work around it and be able to control them. I will still take my boys. I'm not going to sleep on them. I think obviously, Puchulin Serrano he's an absolute worldie. I think he's a world-class talent. I think he's incredible. I think this is his time to show the world right now. And what Motagua did last season to win the Clausura in Honduras was huge, obviously breaking Olympia's record. But now these are the big boys. These are the real big boys. So, like I said, give me Motagua. It's not going to be comfortable. They're not going to be cruising, bruising. They're not going to be kicking ass, dude. I think it's going to be a tough one. I think, like you said, dude, I think they could sneak off a 2-0 or a 2-1 victory at home. And I think for the love of God, they're going to go to Cincinnati. That. I think they're going to go to Cincinnati. They're going to put every single guy on the back line. Coach Lopez is going to be back there. The whole fan base, every trombone, every instrument you can find in the barra, everybody line up, protect the goal. Do not let Cincinnati score a goal. So I think it's going to be interesting. I know you disagree with me on that, but, dude, give me Motagua. Now, the final game, though, your final boys, Herediano, obviously, Copa Costa Rica champions, man. Listen, team made the Concacaf Central American Cup semifinals. So this is a good team, man. Listen, a lot of people would say in the Concacaf in our world would say that this is the best pound-for-pound team right now in Central America. Would you agree with that, Julian? Or am I overhyping them?
Yes, I think going into the Clausura, winning it, the Apertura, winning it, getting a trophy, first trophy in a while. Yes, I would, but I thought they took 2 big misses in they're going to miss 2 big players in Fyron and Andy Rojas, which is now going to New York Red Bulls. And those are 2 key contributors for the team. One being one of the best defenders in the Costa Rican League. The other, who was probably one of the best attackers, if not probably one of the best players in the league last year, in Andy Rojas.
Yeah.
So losing those 2 guys, I think, is really, really big and a really huge deal. And they were very key contributors into them making the run to the quarterfinals last year. Now, if those 2 guys were still on the team, I'd be like, they advanced, because Salt Lake also took some hits. They lost Chicho Arango, who's now at San Jose, but they still did keep Diego Dunas, which I know for him, he's probably a little upset about, because he would have liked to see a transfer this winter. But Salt Lake has been one of those teams that kind of played above their level. So I still do think Herediano can be competitive and advance, but I think losing those 2 guys is really going to hurt them at this level that I think they would have liked to have right now. But I'm going to go Salt Lake here. I think Salt Lake is still going to advance.
Yeah.
Now, if they had those two guys, I would say Herediano would get the upset, especially with them missing Chichorango. Because even quite
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know who's going to score goals in Salt Lake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, dude, I'm with you as well. Obviously, the Andy Rojas and the Fidon, move does kill you guys a lot. That's going to hurt. I still think Herediano can put up a good fight. I think, I'm not going to doubt you guys. Listen, you guys did it last year against Maluka. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be close. Unlike the Vancouver Saprissa one, where I genuinely believe Saprissa can overcome Vancouver and win that. I agree with you here, dude. One word, one name, Diego Luna. I think he's just going to have an absolute, jazz fest. Dude's going to be playing his instrument, running around the field, reading the newspaper. I think that guy's going to be incredible. Really, really rate Diego Luna a lot. I think he's honestly the future of the U.S. men's national team in the midfield for the upcoming years. So we will see. But, dude, listen, that's our CCC prediction. Guys, let us know what you guys think as well down in the comments. Let Julian and me know if you think Sabal's going to beat Chivas. Let us know if you think Forge can make an incredible comeback in a month today. Let us know down, guys. We love the support. We want to hear from you guys and keep interacting. And Julian, any final words?
I'm good, man. Let's have a good CCC season.
Let's roll it.
All
right, guys. We appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe. We'll see y'all.
See you.